out of power. And the place that they're ruling through is North America. Go ahead.
And that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Yeah, and the least of the flock is Israel. Now, Israel may be a small nation. All right, and being small, they're involved in a lot of conflict, man. All right, it's amazing how much bullshit revolves around that small nation. All right, they keep a lot of bullshit going on. They keep a lot of shit going on. All right, that's like the smallest person, with a big mouth. All right, and the reason that they're like that is because they got a military to back them up. All right, they're small, but they have a military, and also they have America as an ally to back them up. And that's the reason why they're not afraid to do the certain things that they're doing, because they know no matter what, America is going to be there to aid them. Which, because of them, America is going to eventually be drugged into a World War III with Iraq and Iran, man. All right, and also Russia and the rest of their allies. All right, so America is eventually going to be drawn into the Middle East, and that's when a lot of you niggas, man. All right, hey, a lot of you are going to get drafted, man. This is Joel 2:20.
Here you go.
It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder parts towards the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. All right, and that east sea that his face is that he's gonna face is the Euphrates. All right, and that his hinder part towards the utmost sea. The utmost sea is the Nile River. So right within that region, that's where America is going to be drawn into. All right, to fight in the war. All right, against all of these other people. All right. This is the article. It says Iraq will face wrath of U.S. if oil pipeline projects with Iran go ahead. It says Washington would do anything to prevent an Iraq-Iran oil pipeline from even being built, even if the Europeans were in favor. Policy researchers told RT, which if they were willing to go to the extent of blaming Saddam Hussein for having weapons of mass destruction, all right, just because he changed the currency that the nation trade in, all right, from the American dollar, all right, to the European currency is either the British pound or the forget what the European currency is called. All right, if they're willing to go that far to take that man out of power and to disrupt that country, all right, and to restore it back to them using the dollar, how much further would they go if they use this pipeline, which will completely undermine the U.S.? All right, nations wouldn't have to go through the U.S. in order to get oil. All right, they wouldn't have to use the American dollar. They can trade amongst each other. All right, they wouldn't have to worry about the Strait of Hormuz being closed. All right, which the United States used that to their advantage too. All right, first of all right, the nations rather around the world have to go through the U.S. allies and use the U.S. currency in order to buy and purchase oil. But if this pipeline was established, they wouldn't have to do that anymore. All right, which destroys, all right, the power that the United States have over all of these other nations. All right, so in fact, they will wage war on them, which something like this could happen. All right, and I can see it happening. All right, but that's the reason why. All right, this situation in regards to these tensions and this war and the bombing, the continuous bombing in Syria are happening. All right, to try to prevent that. All right, in 2003, America led an airstrike on one of the pipelines, all right, that was in Syria, damaging it. And that's part of their plan too. Within that article was to rebuild that pipeline that was destroyed by American airstrikes in Syria. All right, so that's the reason why all of this tension is over there in Syria. That's the reason why the U.S. was over there. That's the reason why Israel is leading strikes over there. But eventually, what's going to happen is America is going to be drawn into that region, and there is going to be a third world war that's fought. All right, and another scripture that we can get would be Revelations, the 16th chapter, verse 12. You know, because all of these nations are going to be drawn over into that region to fight in the Third World War. All right. You read it when you got it.
Okay, kind. Revelations 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his veil upon the great river Euphrates, and the water therefore was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east were prepared.
Yeah, so
might be prepared.
So you have angels that are over there that are working on the mind, you know, of these leaders of these different nations. All right, that's getting them in that spirit of war. All right, to fight. Go ahead.
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Mm-hmm.
For they are the spirits of the devils, working miracles, which go forth into the kings of the earth.
Unto the kings of the earth.
Unto the kings of the earth of the whole world, and to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Yahweh the Almighty.
Yeah, which you have London, which is the religious sect, or the religious part of those 3 unclean spirits. All right, you have America, which is the military, and you got London, which is the financial.
God.
You know, and America being the military aspect, you know, is gathering, helping to deceive these nations to gather them into this World War III. Go ahead.
God. And behold, I come as a thief in the night. Blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garment, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
And what does it mean to be naked? You know, when you go into the book of Exodus, the 35th chapter, all right, and I believe that's let me see. That's Exodus 35 and let's see, 20. 25. It says, (32 and 25).
This is 32 and 25.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
This is Exodus, the 32nd chapter, verse 25. This is what it means to be naked. It says, and when Moses saw that the people were naked, and Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. All right, Aaron had built that golden calf for the children of Israel to worship, and said, "These be your gods that brought you out of Egypt." You know, so to be naked is to sin. You know, so you have to keep your garments, which is this truth. You know, because this truth clothes you. You know, from being naked.
Okay.
That way that the Lord doesn't see your shame upon his arrival. Go ahead. Verse 16.
Okay. And he gathered them together into a place called, in a Hebrew tongue, Armageddon.
Which is Armageddon, which means mountain of troops. All right, so these nations are being prepared to be gathered in that region. All right, which is over in the region that was aforesaid. Okay. You know, over in the Middle East. All right, to fight in the Great War, which is World War III. All right, in this World War III, you know, these nations are going to gather together, but eventually, your missiles are going to be shot. All right, and they're going to shoot them over to the continent of North America to destroy this place. All right. What you got?
Well, I had Zephaniah 3 and 8.
You can go ahead.
Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Most High, till the day I raise up to pray. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, and pour my indignation, even my all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with fire of my jealousy. You know, which eventually, while these nations are fighting in World War III, all right, Yahweh Shai is going to come and fight against them. All right, and all of them are going to be destroyed over in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. You know, and grab Joel, the 3rd chapter, and begin at verse 1. Okay, can I? Joel.
You know, scriptures that you should be getting, scriptures that are relevant, are, you know, or prevalent to these times, are Joel the 38th chapter, Joel the 3rd chapter, you know, Jeremiah 51, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 49, 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter, you know, 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 16th chapter. All right, these are chapters that you should go into that speak on the prophecy and the destruction of America. Isaiah the 13th chapter, Revelation 17, Revelation 18. You know, just throwing out certain things out there that you can read, you know, to keep your mind on the things that are about to transpire within the earth. All right, Matthew's the 24th chapter, Luke the 21st chapter. All right, you know, chapters like that. Joel 3:1.
Okay. Joel 3:1. Behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all the nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat.
Which is the valley of Yahweh's judgment. All right, that's what Jehoshaphat means. All right, it means Yahweh's judgment. All right, because the Lord indeed is about to judge these nations for the things that they have done unto us. All right, can you jump over to Psalms, the 83rd chapter?
Okay.
All right, because all of these nations were confederate against the children of Israel. All right, they were confederate with Esau, Edom. But now they're mad and they're upset because they took this deal with Esau, Edom, but they found out that the grass wasn't green on the other side, man.
That's right.
All right, that the grass was fake. Or that it was GMO, that it was Monsanto's.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Psalms 83:1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They have consulted against thy hidden ones. And they have come, they had said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Yeah, but you can't cut the children of Israel off from being a nation. All right, the scriptures always speak about a remnant. It always speak about a remnant being delivered. All right, and the scripture says, let me see if I can find this real fast. Let's see if I can find this real fast. This is the book of Sirach, the 37th chapter, in the 25th verse. It says, the days of the life of a man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. All right? So you can't cut Israel from being a nation, man. The days of Israel are innumerable. And matter of fact, when Yahweh Shai, you know, comes the second time and we get these new bodies, all right, we're going to be immortal. All right? So you'll never be able to destroy us. We're going to have spiritual bodies. All right, there's a lot of blessings coming to us, man. And we understand why Esau's mad. Go ahead.
And that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one constant. And
with one consent.
One consent, and they have confederate against thee.
And they are confederate against thee.
And the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and Moab, and the Hagarenes, and Jabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre.
And it's amazing. All of you nations are about to fight against each other. You know, you that were confederate to come up against the Lord's people. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is about to have all of you, you know, fighting against each other in the Middle East. All right, but then you're going to stop from fighting each other and try to fight Yahweh Shai upon his arrival. All right, but hey, we can get into that, you know, in another lesson. All right, but I think we can go ahead and end it off on Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right, because yeah, you can fight against Iraq and you can fight against Iran. All right, but Russia is going to be a guard unto them. All right, and not one of these nations stand a chance against you individually. All right, but together, all right, they'll be able to pretty much be a formidable match unto you. All right, but eventually all of these nations are going to be taken down. All right, America isn't set up to be established forever. Although in the nigga's eyes, he think that he's gonna live to see PlayStation 26, man. You know, you know, you had that character Danny Brown, who's a rapper from this city, you know, from Detroit, you know, who said that he wouldn't mind taking the RFID chip because he wants to live, all right, to see PlayStation 16 or something along the lines of that, man. All right, you niggas are out of your damn mind, man. All right, you don't have any hope. All right, and the reason that you don't have any hope is because you don't have any knowledge, wisdom, or understanding. All right, which the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know, gives you hope. It gives you, you know, something to trust in. All right, something to believe in. All right, but you niggas believe in Jordan, Michael Jordan, more than you believe in Yahweh Shai, man.
God, the niggas killer with a pair of Jordans.
Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 38.
Get offended if somebody step on your shoe. You know, go ahead.
And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Almighty Power, Behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw.
That's right.
And I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies and horses and horsemen, and all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, and all of them with shields and helmets, Gomer and
Togomar,
and all his bands, and the house of Togomar.
Which that's Gomer and Togomar. That's getting into, you know, Turkey. You know, which your own allies that are part of NATO with you, the Turks, all right, even they're gonna waste you with thermonuclear destruction. Go ahead.
God, of the north quarter, and all his bands, and many people with thee, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and thy company shall that are assembled unto thee, be thou a guard unto them.
That's right. Be thou a guard unto them. All right. Which Russia's going to be a guard unto these other nations. All right. And eventually all of them are going to be a conglomerate of nations, all right, fighting against the U.S. and NATO. All right. And eventually, all right, things are going to, this World War III is already going on, but it's about to turn hot.
God.
All right. And when it turns hot, all right, first, before it turns hot, this mark of the beast has to be pushed throughout the four corners of the world. And I believe through the Spirit that that's the reason that Yahweh Shem Shai is holding back this tension from escalating into actual physical war. You know, even though war is being fought, because when you put a sanction on a country to stop them from being able to buy, sell, or trade, all right, that's war. All right, it's not you know, physical war, but it's war.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually, you know, once they implement that chip, then things are going to get hot, and that's when you're going to see nations actually, you know, doing something, and nations being drawn into that region, and a physical war being fought, and all of these things that we, you know, prophesied about today, or in this lesson, are coming to pass. Which a lot of those things are coming to pass, but mainly, are that World War III won't be fought until the microchip is fully implemented. You know, but we just really wanted to go into this and to you know, give a World War III update. You know, we hope that it was edifying. You know, unless the got anything else, we're going to go ahead and close out.
No, that's it, bro.
All right, so with that, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. A double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Peace, love, salutations, mercy be unto the elect. A shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and a Bob the ball.
And a Bob the ball.